Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa, where I make quick and easy, healthy meals. But today, it's all about the meal prep. It's Lunch with Lisa. Welcome back to my Macros 101 series, Fueling Your Fat Loss Journey. And today, it's lesson 4. We're going to talk about meal prepping. Save time, stay on track, and conquer your macros. If you've ever wanted to know how to make counting macros completely effortless, this one's for you. Magic of meal prep. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is meal prep and why is it magical? Well, basically, meal prep is like having your own personal chef in your kitchen, creating delicious, healthy meals in advance. But it's actually you. You're the one doing it. It saves you time, it saves you money, and it saves your sanity. But mainly, it helps you stay on track with your macros. Plus, it totally takes the guesswork out of what to eat, making it so much easier to hit your nutrition goals. Anyone else frustrated with logging every single one of your meals daily? Well, here's a way to not have to do that so much or take a break from it every week. Lisa, tell me more. Planning your meals. The first step in successful meal prep is planning, of course. So you need to take some time to decide what you're going to eat for the week. It's not going to be that hard. Really, you can do this. So of course, go back and watch the previous videos in this playlist so that you can make sure you have your goals, your calories, and your macros set. And then you're going to find recipes or foods to fit those goals. This is where you want to have a calorie or macro tracking app like Carbon Diet, or if you have to, MyFitnessPal. Or you can use chronometer, however you say that. Or there's, of course, so many other apps you can find out there, Macros Plus, Lose It. So you are gonna have to log and track your food, but if you eat the same thing all week, you only gotta do it once. And then you don't have to open the app for the rest of the week because you meal prepped and everything is portioned and put away, and all you have to do is take it out of the fridge and eat it. But before we get there, you wanna make a detailed grocery list from all the recipes that you've picked out. Don't forget the food prep containers. I like glass ones like these here, or these with compartments, because one, they're see-through, so you're more likely to eat the food inside of these when you can see it in your refrigerator, because you won't forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. And two, they're much better to microwave your food in. They're not gonna leach out any plastic into your food. But there's also containers that can handle the microwave that are plastic that you can take to work with you that you won't have to fear breaking. So those are also an option, and I would look into getting some of those as well. Silicone is a great option. And of course, I'll post some links down below to some food containers. Segment 3, batch cooking. All right, now let's talk about batch cooking. So if you're gonna do this all at once, you will spend a few hours inside your kitchen, maybe on the weekend, cooking up all of these nice recipes. So if you haven't done this before, you're gonna have to plan out your cooking time so that it runs a little bit more efficiently. Now in the beginning, it'll probably take you a lot longer, but as you continue to do this, you're gonna get faster at it and more efficient. Especially if you create the same recipes over and over again, or like make a week that you repeat. So you could like plan 4 weeks and then just put those on repeat, and then you have different foods to eat every 4 weeks. Or you can just choose to cook a few of the big things during the weekend and then cook as you go during the week, and then save the rest for leftovers. I like to start with the things that take the longest first, like items that are gonna go into the oven. I get those prepped and put into the oven, and then while those are baking, I can use that time to then cook everything on the stovetop or portion out my snacks and such. Now I did batch cooking for a while, and it was great, especially in the beginning when I didn't want to have to think about my food that I was eating. I would portion out a good chunk of my Sunday, do most of my cooking then, and I kind of got tired of doing it after a while. It was a great start, man, I tell you what, but sometimes it gets old, so you want to change it up a little bit. So what I do is bake some of the things that were just oven baked stuff, put that in the oven, let it bake, and not have to spend so much time in the kitchen. And then all the stovetop stuff that I could make during the week, I would just save it till the night that I was gonna eat it first. I would cook the whole meal and then save the rest for leftovers as I went. And that actually made me not be in the kitchen in one huge chunk. But if you don't have time to cook during the week, do it all in one chunk on one day, and then you won't have to think about it until the next weekend. Or I recommend, if you're not used to cooking a whole lot, start with very simple ingredients. You could just go to Costco or the grocery store and buy a rotisserie chicken. Portion that out and then add in some cooked vegetables or some fruit or whatever you're going to eat with it. Just keep the ingredients really simple so you don't have to make any kind of recipes at all. You just want to pick a protein, pick your carbs, and pick your fats. And then you're gonna make meals out of those foods together. And your snacks could be easy as like some yogurt and fruit. Your breakfast could be as easy as some eggs and toast, maybe some bacon, or oatmeal and fruit. Super easy. And then if you have condiments in there, of course, add those in and make sure you track those as well. Every day for lunch, I'd like to eat a big ass salad. So lettuce, tomato, cucumber, apple, some kind of protein, chicken, shrimp, beef, anything like that. Just keep it simple. Put all that stuff in your app. You don't have to follow recipes in order to meal prep. Just make sure you have all that stuff written down on your shopping list and you go ahead and get it and have it available in your fridge for the week. That'll make mealtime so much easier. Portion control. So basically, counting your macros is a huge form of portion control. So you're figuring out your calories and then you're figuring out inside of those calories how much of each macronutrient you're going to have. And of course, watch my previous videos to figure that out for yourself. We've gone over this in another video, so I'm not gonna go over it now, but I am going to say you definitely want to invest in a good food scale. I like this scale because it's rechargeable and I don't have to keep replacing the batteries. So if you want this scale, I will link it down below, of course, in my Amazon store. So if you aren't weighing your food, you are not really counting your macros. You have to weigh your food so that you know how much you're eating, so you know how many macros you're getting, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. Thus, you know how many calories you're getting. So counting your macros is basically another form of calorie counting. So when you cook a whole meal and you want to portion it out for the week, you don't really have to weigh everything as long as you portion it out evenly. You do need to weigh things when you're making the recipe. So make sure you weigh everything that goes into your recipe and you're logging it correctly in your app. But when you portion it out, just make sure it's even. It's not going to matter if you're a little bit over or under during the day because it'll all even out throughout the week. Don't forget to add labels to your meals with a name and a date. You could even print out or write down your menu and put it on your fridge so you know exactly what you're eating every day. I have this really cool magnetic whiteboard that I like to post my menu on so I don't waste paper every week. Link is down below. Variety and flexibility. One of the perks of macro counting and meal prep is the ability to mix things up. You don't have to eat the same thing every day. You can prepare different recipes every week or every day. It's up to you how much variety you want in your diet. And also, you want to leave room for some flexibility. So sometimes you might want to go out to eat. So save one of your meals for next week. Stick it in the freezer if you want. So I like to cook and have food available for the whole week, but I also know that I might go out to eat sometimes. So I definitely want to leave some flexibility for that. And in our next lesson, we're going to talk about eating out. So just hang tight. Storing and reheating. Okay, so let's talk about food storage and reheating. So you definitely want to store your food properly. It's really essential. So don't make food too far in advance and just store it in the fridge. Like I wouldn't make a meal and expect to eat it in a month because it's probably going to go bad unless you put it in the freezer. So make sure you're making stuff that's freezable though. Like fresh fruit and veggies are gonna be gross when you defrost them. So make sure you're only storing your cooked dishes in the freezer. Some things freeze better than others. Like bread freezes brilliantly. Yogurt, it freezes okay. What else? Soups and stuff like that freeze beautifully. So if you wanna make a huge batch of soup, but you don't wanna eat it until like 4 weeks from now, like maybe you're gonna eat it this week, but you don't want to eat the rest until a few weeks after, go ahead and freeze that portion. And remember, some meals like fried stuff reheat better in maybe an air fryer or the oven versus a microwave. Some of that stuff just gets really soggy. So make sure you're reheating things properly so you don't hate your meals. Really, that's like the worst. So if you're storing in glass containers, they're great for the microwave, not so great for the freezer. So don't do that. And some of them aren't really even oven safe, so just be aware. Final thoughts. So in our next lesson, we're gonna explore eating out and how to make wise choices while you're dining out at restaurants or ordering takeout. Get ready to enjoy delicious meals without derailing your progress. Meal prep is your secret weapon to help you save time, stay on track, and hit your macro goals. Until next time, keep rocking those macros and mastering the art of meal prep. And thank you to my patrons for your continued support. Thank you so much. It's lunch with Lisa. Planning your meals. Sorry. Woo! Every time I do that, I picture SpongeBob. I'm sorry. Okay. Some of those as well. Silicone, or you can find silicone is a great option, and I will post some links to some food containers down below. And I'll post some links to some of course, to some food containers down below that I have. And of course, I'll post some links down below to some food containers. Fucking hell. How hard is that?